Why, hello, folks. It's I, CFK Crow, here to bring you some TEW 2016 WCW. It lives again. Now, you won't notice, but it's been a while since I last recorded due to sickness. By the time this video comes out, it'll be several months later. But you might notice at the time that this is actually being recorded that my videos are a bit off by a day or two, even though I've been sick for over a week. Isn't that magnificent? Anyways, I am back, mostly, besides a very terrible cough and incredible abdominal pain. Ad, whoop, 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 whoop. Abdominal pains. Sorry for the mute, but that was vicious coughing. So, tonight's Nitro, the first Nitro of the year 2002. The show starts off with the rematch between Mark Jindrak and Ernest the Cat Miller. Then we have a United States Championship match between Rey Mysterio Jr., the champion, and Chavo Guerrero Jr., the challenger. We have Hawk taking on a local talent. We have Booker T continuing his fight against the $1 Million Corporation with a handicap match against both Tony Mamaluke and Julio De Niro of the FBI. And our main event, we have Ken Shamrock and Diamond Dallas Page teaming up to take on the WCW World Tag Team Champions and the right hand man to the current WCW World Heavyweight Champion Wrath, Pride, and Envy. Stay tuned, folks, for this action-packed Nitro. All right, we start the show off with Eric Bischoff and Jamar in the ring. We're in Puerto Rico, son of a bitch. Anyway, to celebrate the New Year's, it is New Year's Day in WCW. And, yeah, WCW survived 2001. We're back in 2002. It's going to be a great year. As they're celebrating, Jeff Jarrett comes out. And he's upset that he doesn't have a match on the biggest show of the new year, New Year's Day. How can you start the year off without Jeff Jarrett? He basically just runs his mouth, complains for a while. Eventually, Eric Bischoff is fed up and says, "You know what, Jarrett? You want to be on TV? I understand, all right, but we're trying to celebrate, trying to be festive. So look, here's what I'm gonna do. I don't have a match for you tonight, but next week you may have a match. All right, just find a tag team partner. All right, that's it. That's it. Now, can you please leave us alone?" And Jarrett reluctantly leaves. We have an interview. Well, what starts out as an interview. Lillian Garcia is backstage with Romeo and Elix Skipper, but then Conan and BG James comes out, and it becomes a brawl. And they brawl around until security breaks them up, or until it just cut. In the bout that had decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling, Mark Jindrak defeated Ernest Miller by pinfall after rolling him up. After a quick roll, pulled a hamstring. That Ernest the Cat Miller did. Jindrak got some heat backstage. Now, here's a successful interview. Lillian Garcia is interviewing CM Punk about his incredibly long television title reign. Punk says that it's been a blast being able to defend his belt each and every week in WCW. He's looking forward to defending it more in the new year. Maybe to see how long he can rack up his undefeated tag team streak. No, not the tag team. His undefeated television title run. I'm sorry about that. We had DiBiase, who was talking to the members of his corporation that have matches tonight. Shamrock, Julio, and Mamaluke. In regards to Shamrock, he tells Shamrock that he knows what the plan is for tonight. All right, just go out there, dominate like you do, and put the fear in Wrath that his best men can't beat the best men that money can buy. As for you, Julio and Tony Mamaluke, look, you have the numbers advantage. It's 2-on-1. There's no way Booker T can make it past the both of you, alright? I understand that you guys haven't been doing a whole lot for me in the tag team division. Perhaps I should be looking into a tag team. But you can at least do this, alright? Now don't make sure you earn your keep, earn your worth, and most importantly, earn that paycheck, alright? So that's that. Whew, in a bout that had superb wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Rey Mysterio Jr. defeated Chavo Guerrero Jr. in 12:32 when Chavo intentionally got disqualified by using a steel chair. And with that, afterwards, the rest of Chavo's posse, Shane Douglas and Hernandez, come out and they continue to put the beat down on the Mysterio Jr. Rey, with Hernandez power bombing Rey Mysterio through a table. Sorry about that again. Shane Douglas says, listen here, Rey. I'm your opponent at... One moment. Sin. Alright? If you think that you can beat the franchise, well, you're going to be dumber than you look just 2 weeks from now. You dig? Alright. We have Ric Flair and Jeff Jarrett backstage. Jarrett has asked if Rick would be his tag team partner. And Flair is kind of reluctant at first. But he says, actually, you know what? That's a good idea. So he calls over the boys, Air Paris and Air Styles. He says, alright, look, you guys have a tag team title match in just 2 weeks, alright? So I want you to take a seat next week and watch and learn from the best in the business, alright? Me and Jeff right here, we're going to have a match next week on Monday Nitro. And we're going to take whoever our opponents are, all around, all down, and back again. Because there's nothing stopping the Nature Boy and the Chosen One. Woo! Alright. So, you guys stay tuned and watch. But Air Paris speaks up. He says, I feel like it would be a much better idea if we didn't watch, but we actually had a match. You know, Mr. Flair. I just think that maybe since we haven't had a match in a few weeks since we won our contendership, it would be a good idea to not get rusty. But as he's talking, Air Styles kind of like puts his mouth over his hand and it's like, don't listen to him, Rick. You're the man, all right? We're going to listen to exactly what you say, right? So Flair is all wooing and stuff and Jeff Jarrett and Flick walk off. And then afterwards, Styles is like, Paris, what are you doing? What? Shut up. It's Ric Flair. Woo, all right? That's kind of what happens on the side. Terrible match. Hawk defeated Sean Spears, local talent, in 2:46 by pinfall with a flying fist drop. Afterwards, Hawk calls out Animal, and Animal comes out. He says, Animal, I've given you some time to think about it, all right? So what's your verdict? What's your choice? You're going to drop that little bug and rejoin me and become part of the most dominant tag team of all time? Or are you going to stick with the loser? All right. But before Animal could say anything, Mike Sanders comes out. He's like, hey, Hawk, who are you calling the loser? All right. Now listen here. I may not be the best. I may not be the greatest. But you know what? I damn sure ain't the worst. And I damn sure try hard enough. All right. Listen here, bud. All right. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how much history you've made. All right. What's important is the here and the now. All right. And you weren't around. And Animal needed a tag team partner. So I decided that it'd been a great idea to make Animal an above average. All right. If you got a problem with that, you can have a problem with that. But you don't attack me. All right. and try to save Animal and try to make a point for that yourself or for yourself that you're something special. Alright? Listen here. If you have a problem with above average Mike Sanders, then you're going to settle it with above average Mike Sanders. So I'm challenging you to a match at Sin. Alright? And I'm going to knock you down a peg. Alright? You're not going to be Road Warrior Hawk anymore. You're going to be the Hawk formerly known as a Road Warrior who's below average because he got knocked down by the above average Mike Sanders. Yeah! Oh, jeez. And that's the segment. I have fun with the Mike Sanders promos. It's fun saying above average. It's above average. Alright. We head to the dark room, where we have wrath, greed, sloth, and gluttony. No pride, envy, or lust. They are getting prepared for the match later on tonight. The main focus of this segment was not necessarily for Wrath to talk about his opponents, though he does so. Talks about the main event and how his men, Pride and Envy, his right-hand men, are going to show Paige, who has a very well-versed history in what happens when you interfere with Wrath. More importantly, the newcomer, Mr. Shamrock, to show him what it means to get into the ring with the 7 deadly sins. All right. But the secondary portion of this promo was Greed talking about Taka Michinoku. He says, Taka. Listen here, kid. All right. You want your belt back, but you're not getting it. This gold belongs to me. Me, not you. No matter how many times you think you can come up and try to take this from me, you have no chance. No one's going to take this from me. This isn't a superhero story, all right? This is real life. And sometimes you have to realize that you're not good enough. You're never going to be good enough to be a real champion. Sure, you got this belt off of Chavo. Alright? Chavo's nothing but a schmuck. Alright? He has no he never is going to amount to anything. You're never going to amount to anything. But me, greed. The former Billy Kidman. I got some great things in my future. And yours is looking pretty bleak. So I recommend you give up your number one contendership. Because next time, you're not going to have a career afterwards. Isn't that right, Sloth? Gluttony. And Sloth and Gluttony kind of look menacingly go in the background. Yeah, I thought so. That's that. William Garcia is interviewing Ernest Cat Miller about his match that happened earlier in the night. He says that Mark Jindrak cheated, which he did. He says, so if Mark wants to cheat, I challenge him to a match at Sin so I can show him once and for all that I am the better wrestler and that sometimes the young boy needs to learn his place. All right. Then, in a decent match, Booker T defeated the FBI in 646 when Booker defeated Tony Mamluk by pinfall with a missile drop kick. The FBI tried to, work Booker T's legs. And it did when Booker T went for his scissor kicks earlier. Scissor Earlier in the match, he didn't connect all the way, and Tony Mamluk managed to kick out. But alas, it was no match for Booker T because he managed to land the missile drop kick later on Tony Mamluk to score the pinfall 1-2-3 after he had managed to knock Julio off the top rope and outside the ring. Afterwards, Booker T cuts a dynamic promo on the DiBiase $1 Million Corporation. He says, Ted, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I'm close, and I'm going to be right there on you soon, all right? Next is Palumbo, and I got you at Sin. And as soon as Shamrock's done, ooh, I hope Shamrock wins that belt, because I'm going to take it from him. And then I'm going to take everything that you got, DiBiase, all right? I'm coming for you. You dig? Sucker! All right. We're in we're in Bischoff's office with Jamar and his security, the enforcers. When Romeo and Eagle Skipper come in, they are running, hiding from Conan and BT James. They basically ask Bischoff, hey, like, what's the deal with security around here, all right? Yeah. What's the deal with security around here? Like, we got jumped earlier tonight. There was nobody around for any security, any protection. What kind of place is this? All right. And then Romeo's like, I've been going to clubs that don't got security at least 20, 30 deep. Ill Skipper's like, Primetime can't deal in this situation, all right? And then Eric's like, wait, first of all, why are you two clowns in here? J-Mar, can you deal with them? So J-Mar says, well, Romeo, Mr. Skipper, we do have security. And as a matter of fact, our physical head of security are right here, Reno and Big Vito. If you have a problem with the way things are run, well, maybe you can have a match against Big Vito and Reno this Thursday night on Thunder. That's not what Il Skipper and Romeo came in for, but they're like, okay. And there's Vito and Reno looking menacing. Menacingly. There's a segment with Diamond Dallas Page and Ken Shamrock getting prepared for their match tonight. Page is like, all right, Shamrock, listen here. All right, here's the plan. But before he really gets anywhere, Shamrock cuts him off. He says, I have my plan. You have your plan. I don't care what your plan is. I'm going to do what I do. All right. And as they're kind of having some dissension, lights go out and lights come back on. And this Wrath appears. Well, he walks in walks to the door while the lights off. He's like, it seems my two contenders are bickering. It'll be a shame if their disunity were to be the downfall of them, would it not? Whoa. Trying to laugh, but it's turned to a cough. I guess I can't do the Wrath laugh right now. All right. And then, in an exceptional match, Pride and Envy defeated Ken Shamrock and Diamond Dallas Page in 50-26 when Pride defeated Diamond Dallas Page by a pinfall with a sin and punishment. Pride was a weak link, struggled to keep up with everybody else. Yeah, Envy is killing it recently. Like, good job, Envy. Pride, not so much. Shamrock left Diamond Dallas Page out by himself earlier in the match. And Page took a lot of offense. Afterwards, when Page gets up, he gets directly in Shamrock's face, and the two start to have an altercation before Bischoff comes out like, hey, whoa. Show's over, all right? If you want to, deal with this, how about next week on Nitro? The main event, Diamond Dallas Page versus Ken Shamrock. How about that? And that's that. 84 up in 28. Ooh, what's this? Oh, Jindrak has morale issues. Hernandez doesn't get it. Vito can't sell worth a damn. Jindrak, I need you to, get over it. I need you to get over it. I need you to get over it. Here's it. I need you to get over it. There he goes. All right. And we'll be right back with Thunder, hopefully with a little bit less coughing. All right. We are now back with WCW Thursday Night Thunder. The show opens with an extremely short match, Animal defeating local talent Jerry Flynn in 244 by pinfall with a top rope power slam. After the match, Mike Sanders comes out and he asks Animal just one question. He says, "Look, Animal, I think we've had, you and me, above average Animal, Mike Sanders, Animal and above average. I think we've been a good team. All right. Now, I'm fighting Hawk for me. All right. I'm not fighting Hawk so I can remain your tag team partner, because that's your decision. All right. So I just want to ask, do you want to be my tag team partner? That's it. All I want to know. You don't got to answer now. Just, think about it. And that's that. And about that decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat, CM Punk defeated Van Hammer in 623 by submission with an arm triangle choke. CM Punk makes defense number 16 of his WCW World Television Championship. And this also marks the return of Van Hammer to WCW. Trains here. Let me just wait a sec. Oh, okay. Van Hammer's getting better. Afterwards, Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez come out. He says, "Now, you see, my friend Shane Douglas, the franchise, he's going after the United States Championship. But that doesn't mean there's no gold around for Chavito, eh? So, CM Punk, I'm challenging you to a one-on-one match for that television title of yours at Sin. Do you accept or not, ese?" Punk's like, look, I'm a champion. I'm a television champion, which means I defend my belt each and every week, week in, week out. So if you want a shot, you got it. And the match is made. Okay. We have Disco Inferno and Alex Wright, the Booking Knights, being interviewed by Lillian Garcia. She basically just asked how Disco Inferno's doing after his match last week against Lance Storm. Asked if his arm was okay. He says it's a bit sore, but he's doing a bit better. But Alex Wright's upset about it. He's like, Lance Storm, that scumbag, trying to take my tag team partner out of action just because he's frustrated because of his own shortcomings. If I see him, will I? And then Lance Storm shows up, he's like, yo, what? And have a tense stare down before Disco kind of just like, wait. It's not that serious. Look, I understand. Sometimes you get caught up in the action, I get it. All right, no hard feelings, Lance. And then Lance, slaps him or something. And then Alex Wright goes nuts. And then Alex Wright and Lance start brawling. It's a brawl. And about to had decent wrestling, but little heat. SoFly defeated the Enforcers in 732 when Elix Skipper defeated Reno by pinfall with a handful of tights. No. When Skipper wins by disqualification because Conan runs in and attacks Skip. Skip was good. Reno was bad. Skip was good. Reno was bad. And afterwards, Conan and BG James are in the ring. Romeo and Skipper are in the ring. They're brawling. And Vito and Reno are trying to break it up, and it's not working out. All right. Come back from break. We get ready for the next match. And about that had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. The Young Dragons defeated the Misfits in action in 746 when Young Yang defeated Lash Throw by pinfall with a fast roll-up, while what's missing the interference? When Lash Throw gets distracted by James Storm and Chris Harris, who have an American flag, and they're about to burn it, and that just burns up Lash LaRoe. Was it Corporal Cajun? Misfit Night, yeah. And in the final segment of the show, Chuck Palumbo is being interviewed by Lillian Garcia about his match at Sin against Booker T. He says he's not worried. Booker T may think that he's all that, but he's not. All right, I'm the number one prospect for the $1 Million Man, and he trusts me to put a stop to Booker T, and that's what I'm going to do. All right, He did choose right. I am the better thriller. I am the best thriller. And most importantly, I'm the better man, Booker T. And this Sunday at Sin, he's going to get taken apart. Limb by limb. And that's that. All right. Well, La Parka's back. Woo! La Park. L.A. Park. Baby. Is that? La Park is back. Taka has signed a paper appearance deal with New Japan. Thunder got a 1.73. Alex Wrights are into a good worker. Kid's worth getting behind. I know. Hernandez can't sell. Reneo's a scrub. All right. So that's that for this week. Thanks for watching, folks. Next time, we'll be back with some more TEW 2016. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.